We are live. Good morning.
Good morning,
Happy
everyone.
Monday.
Happy Monday.
We're trying to get into the groove here. We can't have too much music because then they ban us because we don't have the rights to these music.
Oh,
So anyhow, good morning, everyone. Happy Monday, and hope you guys had a beautiful weekend. And today we have Monique, who is a newer agent with us,
yes.
and she's actually been licensed. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Monique. I'm not going to mess it up for you. I'll let you.
Well, I passed the real estate exam back in November, but didn't get my actual license number since February. I was full time in dental, like a manager in the dental field, and so I just quit that recently to jump into full time in real estate. Just giving it a believe in myself so I can do this kind of thing.
Absolutely. Good morning, Letty. Good morning. And you know what? That's awesome. You have to believe in yourself before anyone believes in you. And we've talked about that so many times, the importance of that, because a lot of times we don't realize, that we're waiting for others to believe in us, but we don't even believe in ourselves. So believing in ourselves is definitely number one, and then everything around us kind of comes into play. Now,
Mm-hmm.
as what made you decide to get your real estate license?
My freedom, basically time freedom and time, seeing how real estate agents work, and it is self-starting, your self-motivating type of industry that I do like and I see myself in as well. And I know my have family who has had residential rental property basically, so I see the upside in that, been being an investor. So that's where I plan to be myself in the future. Once I get everything going, I want to invest in rental property.
Right. Okay. Well, I don't know who you were talking to about time.
Hi.
I don't know who this is. Good morning, Remax champions. But good morning. Good morning. Um, it's funny because as a new agent, when you start, people don't realize you're kind of doing double the work because you're learning and you're earning. So you're doing both. So initially, it's gonna seem like a lot is going on. You're doing
It
a
does.
um, but eventually, you're going to be able to definitely have more time, and you never stop learning. That's one thing I can attest to for sure. There's always stuff to learn, and which it's great. It's always great. No, I think we talked about this last week with Brenda. Is That's the beauty of our business, though, because it's not something where your clients are never going to need you again. They're going to always need you because things constantly change and are moving, evolving. So that's kind of why you want to remain, their go-to, that professional. Just like people have their doctor, their attorney, whatever it is that they're professional that they go to, you want to
Someone
be
you
their
trust.
go-to as well. Yeah.
I still talk to my
Liz,
real
good
estate
morning.
agent who I got my house, who helped me get my house. We
Yeah,
still keep
it's
in contact.
and you know what, the average real estate agent, they don't keep in contact. A lot of times they don't put forth the effort during the transaction, so therefore they are embarrassed, or they don't feel that they're going to want to keep in touch with them. They don't make that
Connection.
yeah, that and make themselves stand out to want to work, and to be able to ask for additional business, from their consumer. But what you don't realize is when you're in a transaction, you have the potential, to you basically, it's a seed. You should be watering it, you should be taking care of it,
Hmm.
because what's going to happen is so much can grow from it. But if we're not in the transaction, we're not giving it, the time and more,
Hmm.
what happens is we just close that deal, and now we're hustling for the next deal, and then we're hustling and we're hustling and we're hustling, opposed to leaving that mark on them, and them actually being, talking behind you and referring you, and doing some of that work for you. So that's the importance of definitely having systems in place, and also, providing the service and making sure you're on top of it and being honest.
Hmm.
Always be honest. Sometimes in our business, it's not the easiest,
It's not. I'm
you
finding
know
that out.
yeah, it's not the easiest to be honest, and it's not the easiest to be upfront. But they'll appreciate it later. They may not at the moment. It's just like anything. No one wants to hear something negative. No
Yeah.
one does. We're all human, and we have, emotions, and we react differently. But it's so important just to definitely just know that the sooner you're honest, the better you'll feel. When you leave that appointment, you're going to feel great about it, because you know that there's nothing phony about what took place, and you're going to make it happen. So over promising is definitely something that's really, really, tough to do in our, well, it's easy to do, but it's, you don't want to do. That's something you definitely don't want to do,
I
in
don't want to do that to myself. I caught myself just recently like wanting to. I have these clients that I'm helping look for a rental property right now, and thank God they're really understanding what's happening with my going on with my family, like business. What I've told you about my brother, and so, but like I wanted to, I am was there for my family, but I also wanted to be there for my clients, and I was offering this and that to them, and then I'm realizing, like, you know what, like I probably will not be able to show up at this date in time for these clients because I have to, help my family for, with my brother for a bit. So I was having to stop myself from over promising things that I probably wouldn't be able to deliver, because life happens too, and I don't want to make that commitment and then still not be able to deliver to them, because to me that's really important, to deliver the, customer satisfaction is what I want to focus on in my career.
No, absolutely. And that's awesome. That's something that, in life happens. Life is always going to happen. There's going to be things that happen. I can remember, go back and remember a few times when, I didn't want to show up because certain things in my personal life had taken place, and I didn't want to show up as the way I was, in the state I was in, because it just, to me, it wasn't appropriate, I guess you could say. And but I showed up anyways. And even though it was obvious, something had happened to me, they didn't ask me anything, but they were just happy I was there. And I realized that, my problems aren't their problems.
Exactly.
They still have, they still have things that they need to do. So
Hmm.
that's why it's important also, to work as a team. You have different people who are able to step in for you when you're not able to, because that's not always recommended. You don't want to show up as a hot mess either.
Correct.
But, it is good to know that, you have someone that's there to jump in if you need that. So that's also why it's important to, to build relationships with other agents, because there's always going to come a time where someone needs something, and it's like you're one person, you can only be at one place at one time. So
Hmm.
definitely that is key as well.
Yeah, don't want to
You know,
promise, say like, oh yeah, I'll be there, and then like, you know what, I'm sorry, I can't. Don't want
yes,
to
yeah.
get stuck doing that.
So tell us a little bit about how your experience has been in coming, because you like I said, you are newer in real estate. How has your experience been so far?
uh, when it came to the whole honesty thing, what you're talking about earlier, that's what I'm experiencing right now. With one of my listings, it's I don't want to. Well, you know what's going on, like with the whole cancellation. Like I want to, the seller wants to cancel only because they're feeling that they're not going to be able to find their home. And so I'm not sure like if I should keep pushing them to keep looking or give them a break in the sense. So it's fine. It's a little tricky right now for me to find the balance of how to talk to them to get them not to be discouraged. But I'm like, besides that, I'm learning about the market right now too, like seeing how it's fluctuating, the seeing like where the rates are going and how the prices are actually dropping versus when I just barely jumped in, the prices were skyrocketing. Like people were making really big offers on homes, like $50,000 over asking price. And then now I'm seeing the prices are dropping about like $50,000 is the most I've seen in the listing price on homes So it's like getting to familiar with the trends and finding is a little tricky for me
Yeah.
at the time.
Yeah, it's just really depends. And that's why, obviously studying the market and knowing what's going on in your market is super important. Um, I think a lot of agents and I went and showed property on Saturday as well, and I noticed that there was not as many people, viewing where before you were out there, with lines and stuff like that. But I did also know that they had listed the price and or listed the house for a certain price, and before they actually started showing it, they dropped it 20,000. So I think what's happening, in my opinion, is sellers are realizing that if they want to get the most for their money, they're we're kind of like there, like
Mm-hmm.
even it might even be a little bit past as well, depending on their home
Mm-hmm.
location, and the condition. But what I am noticing is before, agents were just throwing a price on there and then people were still offering above that. But you definitely always have to price market value. Even in the crazy market we are in, price at market value. A home is only worth what a buyer's willing to pay for it. So if they're
Mm-hmm.
willing to pay more for it, they'll offer 40, 50,000 or whatever above. But I am seeing that as well, that some agents just go in and go crazy. And I'm like, I'll give you an example. There's this one listing that I saw, and it was in Harupa Valley, and it was the appraised value or average price that I would say, for that particular home was about 550, 560,
Mm-hmm.
and they listed it for 750. Ridiculous, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely ridiculous. So they listed it for about 2 months. Nothing happened, so they took it off the market. But it's like, that's what I don't understand. Like, I don't understand why people, do certain things like that. There was another one that I saw as well. They listed it about 100,000 above like what the homes were selling for. And then obviously they ended up selling it for $100,000 less. So for me, that's truly not a price reduction because it shouldn't have been priced at that anyway. So
Mm-hmm.
homes are still selling at market value,
Mm-hmm.
at what they should be, and market values obviously have increased,
Yeah.
from last year. So it just, really, just really, really depends on, the area and everything. But I am starting to see more homes coming back on the market. That
Mm-hmm.
is something. I want to say in the last couple weeks, we've gotten callbacks on some of the offers that originally we weren't accepted, but our clients had already thankfully been in escrow already, so we didn't have to go for that. But we are seeing that, agents are starting to call us now because they're like, hey, what's going on? Our first buyer's not performing. And it's like, surprise, surprise, buyers are getting buyer's remorse.
Yeah.
Buyers, some of these agents are pushing these buyers to do certain things. And then once they're in escrow, they're not happy about it, especially after they do an inspection and the home needs a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
And they've agreed to pay, 30, 40,000 above, and now they're having to take on all these repairs. So I think we're finally coming to that point where we're going to be where
Balance.
we should have been. It's nothing ridiculous. It's nothing crazy. It's the buyers who want to buy a home and the sellers who want to sell a home. You see
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? It's not going to be anything crazy. So, and it's going to be a great time. I really see the market, definitely really good. I had an agent call me yesterday who is part of our office but is not active. He's actually a school teacher. So he just sells maybe one or two homes a year. So he called me yesterday and he said, Sonia, I want your opinion. He says, but I have people calling me that want to buy. He says, and I told him, I don't think it's a good time. I think you should wait. And so I sat there and had a conversation with him. And
Mm-hmm.
after I was done talking to him, he's like, you know what? Everything you just told me made 100% sense. I actually think I want to get pre-qualified to buy a house after talking to you. So I think it's hilarious how if you don't know, you don't know.
Yeah.
And a lot of times people are listening to people at their work, wherever they're having conversations.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, I wouldn't do this and I wouldn't do that. And it's like, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't want to do that either.
Yeah,
I wouldn't do that
right.
either. So now they're fearful. But again, it's you can't speak. It's a professional is definitely who you want to get that advice from,
Yeah,
not
definitely.
from just someone who bought a house or doesn't even own a home. Even worse, right?
That happens
So
a lot.
yeah, exactly. So let's see. I am. Oh gosh, I'm not sure. When they don't log in, let me see. Hold on, real quick. Let me see if I can figure out who these peeps are. So let's see, real quick. I gotta go in here and see if I can see. Okay, so I think I did find. So good morning. That is Josie. Good morning, Josie. And you should know better than to display your name.
Good morning,
Good
Eva.
morning, Eva. Good morning. And let's see who else we got here. So that is Josie back on the market. I seen it a lot lately. Yes, it is definitely happening. As a listing agent, it's it's really tough because people think, oh, it's easy to be a listing agent, but you got a piece of it, Monique. You see how
Yeah.
you're hounded. You see how everybody's promising you the
Yes.
world. You're like, I've heard this before. So it's like everything, right? But it is a very tough position to be in, and I'll tell you something that it's we have I want to give you an example. So Letty and I had wrote an offer for a mutual buyer of ours about 3 weeks ago, and the guy's like, oh, I just accepted an offer, but you guys will be held as backup, blah blah blah. Well, we saw the house come back on the market and he didn't call us. So right away I called him and he answered, and I just basically said, "Hey, what's up? Like, I thought we were back up. What happened?" And so I started telling him, "What happened with your buyer that you chose over me? What happened?" Like, I was giving him a hard time. I don't know him either. Okay, I
Yeah.
don't know him. And he's like he's like, that looks good. He's like, no, I'm just he's like, oh well, they did the inspection and they weren't happy with the repairs, blah blah blah. And I go, I told you, you have to have a motivated buyer. I know my buyers. I school my buyers. I educate them. I make sure that they're on board. And I was just talking to him and whatever. And then he's like, okay, well, let me talk to my seller, blah, blah, blah. I think I kind of scared him a little bit because I was really aggressive. And anyhow, he ended up calling me back and saying, you know what, we're going to go ahead and take your offer. We're going to go into escrow with you. So sometimes you have to just, you know what, go for it. Who cares? I mean, you have nothing to lose. Just go for it. Just show them that, hey, I'm willing to do whatever I have to do, to make this happen. And because that's for me as a listing agent, that's what I want. I want to talk to an agent who knows their clients. Tell me about your clients. Why do your clients want this house? I want to know, not just, oh, this offer looks the best,
Right.
because that doesn't mean anything. We want those buyers who are going to be willing to, to stick in it. I have a listing kind of like how you, and we've listed in January. My clients barely found their home, and these
No.
buyers have waited. And so these clients, um she barely found got into escrow. And so it's not something, so they have to be, you want those buyers who are willing to wait, those buyers. And of course, there's a lot of communication in between. There's a lot of stuff going on. And my client almost gave up. She called me and she said, you know what, Sonia, I feel so bad for these people. Like, they're waiting. And and I told her they haven't gave up. So
Mm-hmm.
you shouldn't give up. Like, they haven't given up yet. And so she called me back and she said, you know what, you're right. Okay, let's keep moving forward. So we ended up getting them into escrow the next week with a home that she can't even believe that this home is going to be hers. Like,
Wow.
that's how much she loves this home. And I told her, see all of that? Do you see what it was worth? And she says, yes, I do. I do. So a lot of times we don't understand it, ourselves. Um, or even the buyer or seller, just they can't imagine it, but we've done this so many times,
Mhm.
kind of like that Motel 6 or whatever commercial. Leave the light on. We do this all
Oh
the time
yeah.
or whatever.
How funny.
Yeah. So you just want to make sure that we got to show up for them. We got to show up with confidence. As hard as it is sometimes,
It
because
is.
it
It's
is
hard.
hard.
It is hard.
It's very hard. You have some people. I remember Brenda was at dinner one night and she calls me on FaceTime. I think it was. She had a guy in her group who was just like, "I why should I hire an agent or why should I this?" Just negative, negative, negative. Everything was negative, negative. So
why should I hire you? Why should I hire you?
Yeah.
Tell me why.
So it's like sometimes you just have people who either want to give you a hard time or who are, who just simply don't understand or get it. So you have to realize that our way is not always you can't always come this way, because think about it. We're dealing with a zillion different people. Everybody has different backgrounds, has different experiences, has just different ways of thinking.
Mhm.
So it's like finding out who it is you're dealing with and figuring out how you have to come at them.
Mhm.
So another example really quick is Katie and I had another buyer who, she spent more time with him than I did. But after talking to him, I'm realizing I got to use reverse psychology with this person.
Oh,
This guy
interesting.
I have to use reverse psychology. I can't come at him straight because he's so defensive and he
Oh.
knows better. And this is why no, and this is why, this and that. So his first offer that we got accepted, we called it. Well, Katie called him and said, "Oh, you got your offer accepted," and blah blah blah. And he's like, "Oh," and he started thinking like, that I don't really want that house, like this and that. He started just like tearing it down, like it was almost too easy for him. So he didn't get it. He didn't appreciate it.
Yeah.
So I told her, you know what? Let's move forward. Let's find him something else. But I'm gonna handle it next time when we call him to let him know. So sure enough, we get another offer accepted.
Mhm.
And I did. I called him and I didn't even tell him it was accepted. I just said, you know what? We're in the running for this home. There's a
Mhm.
possibility you might get it, but I need to know how much you want this house. I need to know because I have to be able to go to bat for you. And I only want to go to bat for you if I know that you're going to stick with this house. Like, there's higher offers than yours right now, but I'm doing what I can to just make you stand out. I already knew that the offer was accepted, but
Uh-huh.
he doesn't know that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I got him so hyped up and pumped up. He was like, "Sonia, really? Oh my God. Like, what do I got to do?" And la, 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 right? So I was like, okay, I hooked him, right? I got him on the hook. So then, we get the offer accepted and I called him and I told him, you know what, guess what? You're never going to believe it. All of that effort and that energy that you put out and everything else, the home's going to be yours. No way, really? Oh my God, it worked and la, la, la. So you have to just get to know people. Like that's part of what we do as well as everything else that we do, right?
Yeah.
Our analyst, communication, our psychology, negotiations, our showings, just everything, just add that to it. That's why it's so important when you meet your client for the first time to let them talk. Don't talk. A lot of times we talk because we lack confidence sometimes. So we're just like, throwing all this stuff at them when we should just be asking certain questions to get to know what is it that they want, where is it that they want to go, what is their ultimate goal, where do they see themselves, just all of those questions. The reason why is because that's going to help you with what what your job's going to do. There's a lot of agents who a buyer calls and says, "Oh, I'm interested in buying a house. Oh, I just want a 3-bedroom, two bath in Fontana. Okay, great. Let's go look at houses." And then they're not getting to know their client at all. And it's like, "Oh, well, I didn't want this. I actually wanted something like this. I wanted that." "Oh, well, I didn't know that you didn't want a pool, or I didn't know that you wanted it to have such, a certain size yard or whatever it is, or be on the south side or the north side or whatever the case
Whatever
is."
way.
Mhm. So it's so important to let them tell you what it is that they want, what they're looking for. I remember when before the craziness happened, we would go look at 5, 6 houses. They'd make a decision because I would narrow it down for them based on what their needs and wants were. It was like, okay, these are the best homes that I found out of, because I mean, obviously there was more inventory back then too. So it was
Yeah.
like, this is it right here. Between these 5 and 6 homes, you're gonna find your home. And sure enough, and people would tell me, Sonia, how do you do it in one showing, bum, you're done? And it's like, because I listen, I hear what they tell me, I'm focused on what it is that they want. Obviously now the market's different, it's changed, but you still have to listen, you still have to focus, and you still have to provide that service, because if not, they're going to feel that, hey, this person's not even doing the work for me. As it is, agents have a bad reputation. Agents don't deserve the money they make.
Yeah.
Agents are rich, right? Agents are this and that. And it's like, no, we still have to show them, why we're worth what we're worth, why, we get, paid the big 1%.
Oh yeah, the 1%.
So, and let's see here. Good morning. Okay. Oh my gosh. Good morning. Let's see who that is. I'm not sure. I swear this thing sucks. But anyhow, tell us a little bit about your quote this morning. As Monday Motivation, we typically ask the agents to provide a quote for the week. So, what was your quote for the week?
It was to show up and be great. Hold on, let me pull it real quick. It says you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. I felt like that was appropriate for Monday, being after the weekend. I know most people, and I'm sure a lot of people can probably relate to this, about getting started on the Mondays. Don't
Yes.
sit, get up, do what you need to do every day. But find for myself, and from what I've talked about other people, Mondays are like the days where it's hard to jumpstart because of the weekend or whatever happened on the weekend.
Yes, absolutely. I agree. And
I
good.
felt like I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but I felt like it was really relevant to me being a newer agent, having had left, the full-time career in dental and just jumping right into real estate. It's like I have to be the one to get started, to do what I need to do to better my career.
Yes. Good morning, Tina Marie. Yes, and you know what? I think it's a great, that's something good to have just in front of you. You don't, it's true, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. And even, making a decision in any aspect in your life for whatever it is that you want to do better, it's just getting started. It's not, drastic changes or anything like that. It's little things, little movements equal big change.
Yes.
But it takes time to build those habits, and then once you start seeing results, I think that's the biggest thing. When people start seeing results, that's when they realize the light goes off and they're like, wow, it works.
Mm-hmm.
It really works. So yeah, that's awesome. So, okay, so let's get into your video of the week. I love watching these videos when you guys post them. So we will get that going. Wait.
It might be a commercial at first. If
you're jumping out of bed and rushing right into the stress of what you need to do. Breathe. Take a moment to eliminate the stress and realign your mind, body, and brain with the joy that does live inside you. You get to choose if your day is going to be like every other day or if it's going to be a great day. And you decide first thing in the morning by giving yourself that time to realign your brain to positivity, to redirect your mind to what is good in your life. What is good in your life right now? Take a moment to think about it.
Start your day with intention. Today, I will be present. Today, I will be kind. Today, I will be the example I expect of others. Today, I will give my all in every moment.
It's all about intention. When you direct your focus to the good, you will see more good. If your focus is directed to the stress and struggle, you will see more stress and struggle.
If you want to be really happy, give thanks. That's the secret. Happy people are grateful people. So spend time in gratitude. Spend time in intention and expectation for what a great day today is going to be. Feed your mind with something positive. Read or listen to something uplifting, something that will grow your mind or spirit.
You attract your intentions. You attract your beliefs. You attract what you feel. So get up and feel good. When you direct your focus to the good, you will see more good. If your focus is directed to the stress and struggle, you will see more stress and struggle. That is your only job. Get up and get yourself feeling amazing. Ask yourself, how can I feel great today? How can I grow today? How can I make others feel great today? Open your eyes to the magic around you. I guarantee you, you have been missing out on miracles because you have been lost in the stress and noise inside your head. Get out of your head and get into the magic of life.
Today is a new day, a fresh, clean canvas. You can paint whatever you want on that canvas, no matter what happens. You are the artist. Add some color, some joy, some life to your canvas. Leave nothing off that canvas.
As soon as you get up in the morning, ask yourself, what's really important today? Is it important that I rush around stressed at everything I have to get done? Or can I just enjoy this moment? Can I set the tone for the rest of my day? You decide what kind of day you will have, not what happens, but how you will respond to everything that happens. You can respond positively to any situation. Will you respond with presence? Will you see the good? Will you find a way around the obstacles? Will you write your own story, or will life write it for you?
Wow, that was good. You know, it's so funny because this morning I woke up and I didn't feel good at all. I honestly didn't feel good at all. And I'm like, oh, I don't feel good. I don't feel good. I had these allergies, this head cold. Like I was just like, oh my God, I don't feel good at all. And then I was like, no, you feel fine. Like it was just,
Get
it's
up.
in your mind, you know, and actually, I mean, obviously I did not feel well, but I just pushed myself through, and I'm glad I did. I do feel better. So, but yeah, so just got to keep pushing. Got to keep pushing. So, well, thank you so much, Monique, for joining us this morning. Thank you guys all as well. We hope you guys have a beautiful week. Get up and do something different. Move differently. Call someone that you've been meaning to call and you just haven't. You know, just make that connection. Just do something. And let me see. We got more here. I love Monday through Sunday. Yes. Every day is a blessing. So we have to, you know, appreciate and realize that, you know. So yes. So have a good day, everyone. Have a good week. We'll see you soon. We have a lot going on this week. So join in and tune in all week long. We'll be here.
Meeting, quick. The meeting today is moved to the Upland, right?
Oh, okay. I haven't seen that, but I've been busy this morning. So
don't worry about it. I saw mass emails. So I was like, oh, I'm like, okay, new location change.
Okay. I'll see you guys in a little bit then.
Bye.
Bye.